my channel. Today's video is going to be a very quick and easy one, I'm hoping. Today I've decided to film the reread, rewrite, burn challenge, which is a bookish variation of Stalk, Marry, Avoid. This is a tag video, so usually you would be tagged to do it or you would tag someone else. I have not been tagged by anyone, as is usually the case when I make these videos. However, I wanted to do it, so I'm making this video. I'm not going to tag anyone else in this, but if you have a booktube channel and you are watching this video and you think you want to try this out because it's a lot of fun, you definitely should, then go ahead and make the video and make sure to send me a message on Instagram so that I can watch it, because these videos are really fun to watch and it's really fun to play along and compare your answer to other people's answers. So let's just get into this. I'm not quite sure how many books I've got here. However, I've written down some book titles and put them in this little jar thingy, and we're shaking it up to make sure that they're all properly mixed up. In this jar, I've written down the majority of the books that I read last year, so I have missed out some. I, in particular, didn't write any older classics down because they don't stand a chance. Even the worst contemporary book for me is better than a classic most of the time, because I just don't really enjoy them that much. I do read them sometimes, but I don't enjoy them that much, so therefore there's no classics in here. I've also just missed out, there's some that were like in a series or something like that I just missed out, but there are quite a few in here, so I'm just gonna get going with this. The way this works is I'm gonna pick out 3 of these pieces of paper. Once I've picked out the 3 pieces of paper, I'll obviously read the names out. Then, in comparison to each other, I'd say whether I'd want to reread the book, rewrite the book, or burn it. So let's hope this isn't too difficult for me. I haven't written down the author name, so I'm just going to read up the title, and then if I can be bothered, I will write the author's name somewhere. So the first book is The Girl on the Train, and then I have 9 Perfect Strangers. Oh, so we've got thrillers so far. And Wilder Girls, which I do actually have. And the funny thing is, Wilder Girls was in my books that I want to reread. I think it's like the 10 books that I absolutely need to reread. I do think that out of all 3 of these, I would actually choose to reread Wilder Girls, which is good. It doesn't go against what I've said before. Oh, this is difficult, because I really enjoyed both of these last books. I think I gave them roughly the same rating. I think I'm gonna have to go with rewrite The Girl on the Train. I don't know what I'd rewrite, but I think I preferred it a bit more than 9 Perfect Strangers, although oh, I found a loophole. I'm going to reread Wilder Girls, I'm going to rewrite 9 Perfect Strangers, and I'm going to burn The Girl on the Train because there is a film based on that book. I can watch the film. There we go. Let's get the next 3 books. 2, 3. Tea break. Lockdown. Have The Woman in Cabin 10 and The Flat Share. We're breaking the streak. It's not a thriller anymore. Okay, off the bat, I know 100% I'm going to burn Lockdown. I did not enjoy that book. I mean, I think I gave it 2 or 3 stars. Interesting concept, particularly interesting because I read it while we were in lockdown, or we weren't in lockdown, but we were in the middle of a pandemic. However, it was a crime thriller, and I'm just not that big on crime thrillers. Oh my god, I can't sit comfortably. I'd probably reread both of them, but I'd also probably rewrite both of them. I think just because I'm more of a thriller person, even though it's a bit weird, like you shouldn't really want to reread thrillers, I think I'm gonna say reread The Woman in Cabin 10 and rewrite The Flat Share, just because I did feel like there was some things about The Flat Share that sort of got on my nerves, but I can't remember exactly what. So far, this has been quite easy. I'm worried that I'm going to get to a point where all of them are going to either be ones I hated or ones that I really loved. So, first I've got The Mothers, and then I've got The Bloody Chamber, which is a short story collection by Angela Carter. And then the last one is Notes from a Small Island by Bill Bryson. God, why did I forget his name? This is difficult because these are all books that I sort of enjoy. I didn't give The Bloody Chamber a rating because it was a short story collection. I feel like on the basis that it was a short story collection, I'm gonna say burn. Just because I feel like usually with short story collections you can find the short stories somewhere else. So once again, we're using a loophole. I couldn't imagine rewriting anything that Bill Bryson has written because I think that his writing is just really funny. So like I wouldn't be able to write anything better than him. So I'm going to reread Notes from a Small Island. I also just found it funny because it's about the UK and, you know, some of the stuff that he wrote about the UK was like 100% true and funny. And The Mothers by Britt Bennett. I enjoyed this, but I'm going to say rewrite because that's the only one that's left. So, but also because it wasn't my favourite. I think I gave it like 3 stars, but I still enjoyed it. Anyway, next. The first one is And the Mountains Echoed, and then I have Dolores Claiborne by Stephen King, which I do have sitting over here. Okay, I've already got a rough idea of what I'm going to say, but let's see what the last one is. Oh, the last one is Someone We Know by Sherry Lapina, I don't know, Sherry something or other. Sherry wine, shall we say. Right, I know this straight away. I don't even need to think. I do not even need to think, which is great because I don't want to. I'm going to reread And the Mountains Echoed. It was a beautiful book. I think I gave it 4 stars. And like just really great writing, a really moving story. Reread And the Mountains Echoed. Rewrite Dolores Claiborne because I really liked the story, but it's not written with chapters and it needs to be written with chapters. I don't think I want to reread it purely because of the fact that it's not got chapters. It's just one long thing and it was just annoying to read. And then I'm going to burn Someone We Know. I mean, realistically, I should reread it because I listened to it as an audiobook and I don't like audiobooks and I think that ruined my experience with it. However, I'm fine to say I'll burn it. Just from my experience thus far, I'm going to say that I will burn Someone We Know. Number 1. Number 1 is The Rumour. Number 2 is Coraline, which is a book I've actually reread 2 or 3 times before, I think. And number 3 is An American Marriage. I'm going to reread Coraline. It's a book that I mean, it's such a short and like, I'm not going to say cute book because it's not cute, but it's like middle grade. It's just a really fun story. I really enjoy the story of Coraline and I really like Neil Gaiman's writing. So I will reread Coraline 100 times. An American Marriage was definitely a good book, but I honestly can't remember much of it, so I think I'm going to have to say burn that one, even though the story is one that definitely needs to be told. I just don't remember much of it, and I think that is an indication that it just didn't leave a lasting impact on me. I'm going to rewrite The Rumour because the concept of it was so good, but I think the execution just didn't live up to what I wanted it to be. We've got A Little Life, which is a very, very wonderful book. I really enjoyed A Little Life. Oh, and then Stags, which was a really fun dark academia YA thriller, which I also really enjoyed. And I feel like this is going to be the most difficult one. Beach Read. See, I said this was going to happen. I said that there was going to be one that was just going to be really difficult. These aren't all my favourite books, but they're all books that I enjoyed. So one of these books I did once again mention in my reread video. So I think just because of that, I sort of have to go with A Little Life. And then it's just difficult because I enjoyed both Beach Read and Stags. I think I'm going to say I'm going to rewrite Beach Read because I really did enjoy it. And also the fact that Stags is a thriller. I'm going to rewrite Beach Read. I think there were definitely some things in Beach Read that I was like, I don't know if I like that. And I just, it was fun, but it also had like darker elements, which I really enjoyed that mixture. I really did enjoy Stags. I thought it was a great YA thriller. I really liked the dark academia vibes. However, I think I'm gonna burn that one. Here are the next ones in my hand. The next round has Such a Fun Age. See What I Have Done, which I know what I'm doing with that. And, oh my god, Daisy Jones and the Six, which I really enjoyed. I think straight off the bat, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Once again, I don't really have to think about this. Daisy Jones and the Six, easy, reread. It was a great book. I could not imagine rewriting it, and I could definitely not imagine burning it. It doesn't deserve to be burned. It was a really good book. I enjoyed the 60s and 70s music scene, so really enjoyed that. Going to reread that. And then we come to Such a Fun Age. I'm going to rewrite that. I thought, once again, it was a great concept. It was, like, the premise was great and the plot was really good, I think, and, like, the things that it spoke about was really good. However, it's not quite as good as Daisy Jones and the Six for me, personally. I think I gave it 3 or 4 stars, I can't quite remember. But, like, it was a good story, but I definitely would not place it over Daisy Jones and the Six. And then See What I've Done. This really disappointed me, because See What I've Done is like a fictional retelling of the Lizzie Borden murder case. Essentially, there was this woman in the 1800s, I believe it was, maybe the early 1900s. So she was accused of killing her dad and her stepmother, but she never got convicted. And I just thought it was a super interesting story to try and fictionalise. It's an older case, so therefore there's not as much information on it as there is on, like, newer cases, so therefore I thought it'd be really interesting to read a fictionalised version of it, but it wasn't good. It was, like, boring. I think I gave it 2 stars. It was, like, really not great. So I can't even remember what the conclusion was about who was the killer, but I think it was either something really boring or something really outlandish, but I can't remember. Next up, we have One of Us Is Next, which is a sequel to One of Us Is Lying. And then I've got The People in the Trees, which is by the same author as A Little Life. And then I've got All the Bright Places. So, I think I'm going to reread One of Us Is Next. I think Karen McManus is one of the best YA mystery thriller writers out there. I've just, like, I enjoyed her writing a lot, so I couldn't imagine, like, rewriting it, and I really enjoyed the story, so I'm going to reread One of Us Is Next. I'm going to I'm going to rewrite All the Bright Places. I thought that it was, like, the topics that are mentioned in it are really important to mention. However, I do feel like it felt almost on the side of glamorising certain topics, or not glamorising them, but not being quite as true to life. I don't deal with a lot of the stuff that the characters do in this book. However, I have read reviews and I've heard of people who do suffer with these things saying that it wasn't quite as sensitive towards people that have experienced it. Like, there's just, I think that okay, I don't want to say any more. Please don't come for me if you love this book. I know I've got a friend that absolutely loves this book, but it was really good. But I also feel like I can see where people are coming from when they say it's not quite as well written. Like, oh, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna rewrite this one and I'm gonna burn The People in the Trees. Once again, this was a really interesting concept, but it just, like, I don't need to reread it, and, like, I think I would rather just someone take the concept and write a completely different story, to be honest. While I absolutely loved A Little Life and I wouldn't change anything about it, The People in the Trees, I don't know. I'd still recommend you read it. However, once you've read it once, I don't think you need to do anything with it again, except for burn it. It was good. It was 3 stars, and it was, like, it was a good story, but I just can't put it above the other two. Why am I singing? We have Call Me By Your Name. And then we have The One by John Mars. John Mars is one of my all-time favourite thriller writers. And then we have Cujo. I am going to burn Cujo. The thing is, I am not against outlandish, crazy stories. I really enjoyed them. I really enjoy them. I currently really enjoy them. Honestly, I really enjoy weird stories. I enjoy messed up things. However, in comparison to these other two books, I just like Cujo is down at the bottom for me, so we're going to burn that one. Even though Stephen King is one of my favourite authors, we're just going to burn it, okay? Yes, we are. I am going to rewrite Call Me By Your Name. I don't know how. Am I going to? Oh, I don't know if I want to now. No, do you know what? We're not gonna, no we're not. I'm going to rewrite The One. As I said, John Mars is one of my favourite thriller authors. I think this sci-fi thriller thing that he has going on is really great and I really enjoy it and I think he writes it really well. I don't know how I would rewrite this, but I just feel like Call Me By Your Name is one of the books where the writing is, for me, the best aspect of it. So I would have to say reread Call Me By Your Name and then rewrite The One. Oh, that's upside down. We have Home by Toni Morrison. Then we have Convenience Store Woman, Rules for Perfect Murder. Oh, I don't know. This is difficult. The thing is that I didn't enjoy any of these all that much. I think just for the fact that I honestly can't remember it very well, I'm going to have to burn Home, which breaks my heart because I know Toni Morrison is known as being a really, really great writer, but I just don't think Home is the one. I will rewrite Rules for Perfect Murder. I really enjoyed this concept. If it's the one that I'm thinking it is, then I really enjoyed the concept of it, and once again it was the execution that just wasn't right. And then I will reread Convenience Store Woman, not so much because it was my absolute favourite. I thought it was a really good story and I really like some of the points that it makes, so I'll reread that one. So that was the reread, rewrite, burn tag video thing that I just did. As I said, I'm not tagging anyone in it, but if you want to make this video, feel free to do it and then send me a message on Instagram so that I can see it because it's so much fun. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to give it a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. I will see you in my next video.